Treasonous. S-O-N-O-U-S. What the fuck did I say? I forget. What is up, everybody? It's been a long time. It feels like it's been a long time. What's up? It's been a long time since I talked to you guys on live stream. Honestly, I haven't talked to y'all since this whole thing went down at the Capitol. And it's crazy. Hey, what's up? Wake y'all asses up. Yeah, I have not spoken to y'all since this whole thing went down at the Capitol. And I say, you know what? Let us just do it. Let's just have a conversation. Let's talk. What's up? As usual, the girls over on patreon.com/expression found out about this as usual about this live stream first. They get all the notifications first and all the content first. So go over there, check it out. Let me know what you think. Finally, a time to. Oh, you finally on time to a live period. That's what's up, Sadie. What's up? As I wait for the rest of the girls to get in here, I finally call like, hey, what's up? The girls are fighting. They are fighting. Ready for your gums to be flapping. My mouth's about to be running, boo. My mouth is about to be running. Okay. So let us first, before we get into everything, I just want to say that it's kind of crazy that these people did not see. I don't know if did not see it coming is fair, because I feel like a lot of them saw it coming and just didn't do shit. And they were just like, yeah, girl, come on in. Mosey on in. You're on time. I'm going to make sugar cookies and Kiki in the comments with you. Yes, come on. I want some cookies too, bitch. Some cookies. But I think it's crazy. But what I think is even crazier is the fact that these people literally went to do some, slight terrorism. Like they went and did some, very much light work, storming of buildings, threatening of politicians, literally walking in there with zip ties, ready for hostages, just light work. They went in there, did some very, easy breezy, beautiful treason, like really. And the thing is, okay, we already know that they don't like wearing masks because they hate science. But they wouldn't even wear masks to commit treason. Like we get it. You refuse to listen to scientists because, y'all are easily brainwashed, blah, blah, blah. But like, damn, you wouldn't even put on a mask to hide your identity. And the thing is, like, they were live streaming the whole time. Like a live stream. This is America. This is our America. This is our America. We get to decide. This is our house. Baby. It's not your house if you can't get in like that. If you can't stay there, it seemed to me more like breaking and entering to me, Mama. This is our house, okay? Then why did y'all a couple of y'all got shot? Damn, stand your ground type of teams. And guess what? The government literally stood their ground against y'all asses. It went boom, bye. And it's not in a back to white head. It's in your head. It's in your head. For the life of me, I don't understand how they were up there, no mask, no anything, like a live stream on, I don't know if it was, literally, I saw articles saying that they made so much money. They made so much money, like the live streaming, the social media influencers who raided the Capitol. They made so much money live streaming that shit. So for me, the thing is like, okay, you live stream the shit, you don't wear no mask. Then you bitches gonna book flights? It's time to take, like you bitches think you the city girls. It's time to take motherfucking flights. You know what I mean? You bitches are gonna live stream this shit, not wearing no mask, and then you're gonna go on vacation during the pandemic. Like you're literally taking your asses to the airport like you wasn't just at the Capitol building. It just don't make no sense to me. It don't make no sense to me. And I'm like, what did y'all think was gonna happen? Like, y'all stealing laptops and shit. I'm sure the FBI popped up as soon as y'all opened them holes up. If they weren't half the FBI in them, let me just stop. But I thought that shit was so funny, and they're like literally freaking out. So at first I was watching. I don't know if you've seen some of the. It's a revolution, yes, BJ. It's a revolution. I got pepper sprayed. I got mace. Sit your whole ass down somewhere. And what you need to be doing is doing like the rest of these white ones. Just sit your ass down like a normal white woman. Go figure out what your favorite, form of wine is at Publix. Like, go where shopping is a pleasure. That's where you bitches need to be raiding some Publix. Go to Publix and raid that. Argue with some of the managers like y'all like to do, like the Capitol. It's a revolution. It's not a revolution. It is literally the only. You know what? Actually, it is a revolution. It's a revolution because there another definition. I'm sorry for revolution is turning that ass around. Because one revolution, right? Turning that ass around. That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what y'all did. Y'all went in there, got shot the fuck up, beat, and y'all had to turn y'all ass around. That's the revolution because y'all turned y'all ass around after they pepper sprayed y'all ass. That's the revolution, bitch. You got turned the fuck around. Yeah, it's a revolution. And then to be sitting here, okay, so I don't know if you saw that videos, like I was gonna say, if you saw the videos of these people freaking out about the fact that their asses are on the no-fly list. And to me, I'm just like, at first I was watching it, I was like, what the fuck is the point of a no-fly list if these hoes are already on the plane when you bitch about to take them off? You know what I mean? At first I was like, okay, this no-fly list, it's a lot of people flying on this no-fly list. At first that's what I was like, why are they on the plane if they're on no-fly list? But it like literally people are saying that it's because that's how quick they are identifying these bitches. Like they check in, they sit on the plane, and as soon as that no-fly list is updated and they see that somebody's ass has been sitting on this plane and they're a passenger, they go inside there and get that shit. They go in there and get them hoes. They go in there and get them hoes. I thought it was so funny that the FBI was sitting over here on Twitter and shit talking about, oh girl, we need y'all help. Like, bitch, they really thought we was like Inspector Gadget or some shit. We need y'all help identifying these people who raided the Capitol. Mama, they live stream that shit. They ain't have no mask on. What you mean you need our help, bitch? If you don't go find these hoes. If you don't go find these bitches and shut the fuck up. The same FBI, the same government that literally, like I said on Twitter, what I say, they had the platelet count. They had the white blood cell count. They had the red blood cell count of every black activist and organizer in this goddamn in this goddamn country. I'm talking about, they knew every hair follicle. They knew every hair follicle on their head. They counted every hair on their body. They knew everything about these motherfuckers. Like, but you mean to tell me that Randy and Sally, who went up there and raided the Capitol because America, you have a hard time identifying their asses. Girl, tell me why. I also saw a headline from MSNBC saying that, the FBI literally went to a bunch of white supremacist houses and said, hey, you know what? We want y'all to like think through this again. Like, basically, we know what y'all about to do. Please don't do it. And I'm just like, can you imagine having that much power in society to literally about to do some fucked up shit? Like, to literally about to be going to these Capitol buildings and shit, and and for the FBI to be like, hey girl, so what's the honey? I know that you about to go to the Capitol. I know you about to blow some shit up. You about to fuck some shit up. But can you just consider not doing it? Can you imagine getting? Yes, MSNBC. I'm telling you, look it up. Y'all already know me. I always say, correct me if I'm wrong. And you could do that, but please look this shit up. It was the craziest thing. And then they're going to turn around and ask for our help. Mama, you literally visited their asses. Dude, you visited their asses before this shit. And then on top of that, we have this. I saw this today. Armed protests are being planned at all 50 state capitals from the 16th of January to at least the 20th of January. And at the U.S. Capitol from the 17th through the 20th of January. So for me, I'm just like, you have to be really, either you have to be really fucking incompetent, really stupid, or you have to be complicit to sit around here and see the climate, see the social climate, see what people are saying online, to see how the country is reacting, and be so shocked and surprised when they run up in the Capitol. Um, you either have to be, like I said, you have to be really stupid. All 50, make sure y'all get y'all groceries together and your streaming service. When I tell you, I'm going to be sitting there. You know that meme with the dog sitting in the fire, and this is fine. Literally, I'm gonna have maybe a blunt in one hand. Make sure my work is done. I'm gonna sit my ass down here watching TV shows while they're over here beating and banging on the goddamn building doors. I'm just gonna watch it. I'm just gonna watch because it's like, we told you this shit was gonna happen. Like, and to see, and it's funny, but it's not funny because the girls were over there. I think they were like playing the violin or some instruments or some shit in this peaceful protest, and the fucking cops came in and gassed their ass out, right? And like a protest for like human rights, like Black Lives Matter and shit. But these people coming here in the Capitol, it's just nothing to see here. It was an inside job. The entire U.S. government, down to the Secret Service, need to be scrubbed. I'm telling you that right now. There are some. I heard that there were some, like, I don't know if it's ex-lawmakers or trained individuals who were able to get into the Capitol, or able to really. I heard a rumor that they were, like I said, inside people showing people where to go and maps and shit like that. But when you put all of that together and look at what actually happened and what has been happening, and you saw, moments of, like I said, Capitol Police taking selfies with these people. Thank you, Stephanie. Nothing makes sense anymore. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. But when you look at all of that evidence, you really start to put it together. Like, okay, these girls knew exactly what's going to happen, and I'm sorry, that's what I believe. So the reason why Melania is in the title, the protesters were calling the black cops N-word and everything. Child, I see how they also made almost martyr out of this black guy who put himself on the line for the Capitol building. And I'm just like, y'all have to be really patriotic, because I promise you, if you came to me like, Adrian, your black ass has to stand up for the Capitol building, you have to put yourself in harm's way and make sure you prevent these really crazy ass racist protesters from entering the building, you have to put your black ass on the line. I would be like, literally, if they called me and told me that, I would literally put my black ass on the line. I'll put my black ass on the phone line and hang the fuck up. Because, bitch, I'm not doing that. You say I put my black ass on the line? All right, bitch. I'm putting my black ass on the line. Now, bitch, since we FaceTime, you see my ass? That's the only black ass that you're gonna see showing. That's the only black ass that you're ever gonna see. Okay? That's the only black ass you're ever gonna see. I'm not putting my black ass on the line. My line suspended. My line suspended. Okay. But you got to put your, and they over here, lauding him, and and I'm very happy that I don't even know what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is I'm not doing that shit. I'm not doing that shit. So listen to what Melania said about this whole thing. I'm sure it was a longer statement that she made, but I have to talk about this part where she was like, I implore people to stop the violence. Never make assumptions based on the color of a person's skin, or use differing political ideologies as basis for aggression and viciousness. We must listen to one another, focus on what unites us, and rise above what divides us. And I love the passion of whoever wrote that for her ass. Because I will never forget how she came over there talking about, remember when that tape leaked about her talking about Christmas and, you know, these motherfuckers locked up at the border. Give me a break. They didn't say anything while Obama's ass did that shit. Melania, I think people really think that I am joking when I say I would rather these people just say the hateful shit that's in their hearts. I promise you, I'm not joking about that shit. I would much rather you just say, Melania, and the rest of you girls, just say, hey girl, guess what? I don't like you niggas. Like, honestly, you niggas, I don't know how you niggas breathe with them with them wide noses. Don't it be too much air going up in there for you bitches, them big ass lips? I want Melania to just say this shit. I don't like none of you motherfuckers. And my husband don't either, bitch. And like that, and I remember, it was a long time ago, but I remember seeing, I can't remember exactly what it was, as usual, because things just go and come in my fucking brain. But I remember after something big happened, and Trump had to go up there and say, oh girl, basically, I can't remember anything specific, but I remember when Trump almost said something like this, oh yeah, girl, you know, we have to respect each other, no violence. And his supporters were literally in there saying, oh, well, girl, he has to say things like that. Trump has to say things like that to protect his ass, but we know what he actually wants us to do. Literally, that's what they were saying on these like weird ass forums and shit. I'm like, just save it. Just save it. Just save it. They want to commit all these heinous crimes and don't want us to complain about it. They want to continue to throw the rock and hide their hand. And that shit is the craziest thing ever. Y'all believe in this shit. Y'all believe in the things that you're doing. Y'all believe in the things that you're saying. Y'all love when marginalized communities are fucked over. And it shows in your actions and it shows in your policies. It shows in the things that you don't say. You know what I mean? So just stop pretending. Please. Please. President Trump has been banned from Facebook, banned, Twitter, banned, Google, banned, Spotify, banned, Snapchat, banned, Instagram, banned, Shopify, banned, Reddit, banned, Twitch, banned, YouTube, banned, TikTok, banned, and Pinterest. I don't know what type of boards he's making on Pinterest. Is giving authoritarian dystopian mood boards on fucking Pinterest. He banned. They banned his ass. Now, I think it's hilarious that Twitter was over here talking about, oh, well, girl, recently. And that's why he was banned. And I think Twitter was the one who really set it in motion. If Trump is over here, if he makes any more tweets and many more statements that violate our terms, we're going to get his dumb ass out of here. Now, I'm wondering why the fuck y'all didn't do that shit, years beforehand. He violated y'all terms of service. And the way that social media drags the shit out of, smaller accounts for not even for such little bullshit. You know what I mean? And they allowed this man to continue his rampage. We have to really acknowledge social media's part in spreading this bullshit. And as usual, I don't like to say, oh, social media is an evil thing. Social media is a tool. And it depends on how the fuck you use it. Obviously, that dictates the outcome. So these people who are allowing this man to violate their terms of service while they were shutting down voices, while they love to shadow ban your black gay ass, now all of a sudden they coming out saying, oh, guess what? We're going to ban. After all the damage is done, you want to say, hey, guess what? It's like you dropping your phone or some shit, cracking the screen, and somebody gonna come up, hey girl, I got a screen protector, you want it? How's that gonna help me now, boo-boo? Matter of fact, you might actually be pissed at somebody for it's like, bitch, if you don't replace this screen and shut the fuck up. Angela Merkel criticized Twitter for banning Trump. Okay, let's get into that. Let's talk about that. I think they're important aspects of it that we have to talk about. So, Keri Hilson is in the title today. And she said this, and she got dragged on social media. I think there is a part of it, a part of these discussions that we have to pay attention to. But for the most part, I understand and agree with the fact that Keri Hilson got dragged. But this is what she's saying. She said, this may be funny, but it is a little dangerous too. Take Trump out of it for a moment. A democracy must include freedom of speech. Imagine other leaders or popular figures not being able to voice their opinion if it opposes the majority of world leaders. Our freedom of speech is being taken from us slowly but surely. Censorship. If the leader of the free world can be removed, Jesus. Imagine, I'm glad she got dragged. Imagine that same right for civilians. Imagine believing every time you read false information detected in propaganda, deceptive reports, and flat out lies being the only thing we see. So I think it's important, obviously, to hold these social media companies to account, especially if they're coming over here thinking that obviously filtering information based off of what they have decided or what they have determined to be true or false information. I think that's something that we're probably going to have to be taken into consideration even further as more and more of our world goes online. Like, we have to, these social media companies are because they say, oh, fact check, or, oh, this includes false information, we're going to have to make sure that their filtering processes, I'm always late, thanks team member, their filtering processes make actual fucking sense. I think that's a valid concern. But this idea that banning him, remember, these people they're private companies. This idea of banning him is infringing on his freedom of speech. He is the government. What the fuck are you talking about? He is the state. The state controls everything. What are you talking about? There is no infringement upon his fucking speech if he has a whole press room in his goddamn house. He can take his ass onto the fucking news. He can create a social media site of his own. What are you talking about infringing on freedom of speech? It doesn't make any sense. What is dangerous is that this is the dangerous part. The dangerous part is you getting on here, acting like these private companies do not have the power, should not have the power or right to filter that shit out. And then you're filing that under freedom of speech. So now you have these people with are you trying to make it so that these private companies must publish certain things? That actually leads into dictatorship, authoritarianism, the totalitarian. That is what leads to it. Now, I do think there's another side of it where, if we want to have a conversation about, okay, y'all girls are slow as hell to ban these Nazis and shit, but you're quick as fuck to get these small accounts out of here for one little violation. But these Confederates, same shit, conservatives it's just like, what the hell is going on? So I think we can have a conversation about, thanks, Aria Hope. Oh, y'all so sweet. I think we can have a conversation about how social media is filtered, how these private companies have a hand in sharing or allowing certain messages to be shared. What does that mean? How does it affect our society? We already see how it has affected our society when it comes to just allowing that hateful shit to just spread unbothered, unfiltered all across their social media sites. So I think that, if you want to talk about how shit is filtered, what kind of voices are allowed to speak on these private companies, in these private companies, then we can have that conversation. But to sit here and talk about, oh well, girl, it's infringing on his freedom of speech. He is a whole ass president, bitch. He don't need Twitter. He don't need none of that shit. He can literally say, hey girl, hey girl, we shutting all this shit down. All you hoes need to shut the fuck up. Martial law, shut the fuck up. Like, girl, he can send a fucking letter, girl. I think the dangerous, like I said, I think the dangerous issue, the dangerous part of it actually is you sitting here and forcing these private companies to have, like, they must never suspend or filter or censor. They must never do it to a politician. They can do it to everybody else, but they can never do it to a politician. And exactly, Trump could decide to shut it all down, but they're more concerned about some bullshit. Yeah, it's just, to me, it's the same. I don't know. That's why people are like, oh my God, do you want to run for some shit, or if I had power, just power? I'm talking about even just Game of Thrones ass power. Like, I would just shut all this shit down. I'm telling you right now, because it's like people are wondering how did this happen? How does, okay, take for example, how does everyone now believe that the sky is green? Why? Because you bitches literally let people say it. And not only that, you talk and let them say it loud and proud. You let them. All of mainstream media has presented these people saying non-facts, falsehoods, lies, as if it is a legitimate side of arguments. That's what mainstream media did. Like, they allowed all of these lies, all this foolishness that has escaped these politicians' lips. They've allowed these lies to be viewed as a legitimate position, as a factual position, as a basis for you to argue, real shit. And so now you have all this misinformation, and you're like, oh my God, how the fuck does this happen? Y'all literally allowed alternative facts to get up there. So yeah, I think it's a very complicated issue. I think it's one that a lot of people aren't really looking at with a whole bunch of nuance. I also think that it is, like I said, it's dangerous when you were up here talking about, okay, well, we can't silence. First of all, it's dangerous to consider banning or limiting someone's use of Twitter to silencing, like, constitutional ass silence, to like freedom of speech ass silencing. So I don't know. If Einstein or right on swear, what would happen to me? There's so many things I wish I could say on social media. I know I can't say because them girls would be knocking at my door. Exactly. Like, I can't just go out there and do that shit. So, and all we're saying is, just like how y'all let these lies and crazy ass hate just flood the fucking social media highways, let these smaller accounts live their lives and leave their ass alone. Like, y'all are so willing to let these people, we have to let people who think the sky is green speak. We have to let them speak on our platforms. We have to let these hateful motherfuckers speak, because what if our voices get banned? Ma'am, you're in control of the platform. Second thing is, they definitely don't want to hear your leftist liberal ass speak on their platforms. Why is it, and they do that in politics too, the Democrats love to do that shit. Why is it that we have to handle listening to their ass, tolerating their policies? Fuck, you know what I mean? We have to deal with that. It's a good it makes them feel good morally. Why is it that we have to listen to that crazy, literally crazy, non-fact having racist asses, but they wouldn't do the same shit for us? And we know that. We know they wouldn't do. We know that they're dangerous to us because we avoid their spaces, we avoid their online spaces, we avoid their in-person spaces because their asses are violent and vile. But we have to accept the bullshit from them. Oh shit! Y'all said Army Hammers. Now see, major trigger warning. I heard about Army Hammers too, so I don't know. I gotta come back to that at the end when I'm talking about this shit when I'm done. Because I saw that shit, I was like, oh. So yeah, I think it's funny when they be like, oh my God, conservative voices are being silenced. And they go to 10 different podcasts and, write 10 different books, go on 10 different fucking TV shows to tell us that fucking conservative voices are being silenced. It really reminds me of the same shit. It's like, ma'am, ma'am. Yeah, I also heard that they were fake too. That's why I didn't want to, that they were fake. But people were like, my friend was like, the voice really just sounds like him though. So I don't know, child. Okay. Speaking of foolishness, just because one has a right to speak does not mean they should, hence the Fifth Amendment. Yes, true. And I think the private company thing is very important. But even above that, your speech has consequences. You can, what did it say? You have freedom of speech, but you can't go into a theater talking about fire. There wasn't one there. So it's just like, I don't know. Van Jones, he is teaming up with Meghan McCain to do this documentary called The Reunited States. And on the cover of it has a black hand, I guess, holding or shaking a white hand, I guess, in solidarity. And on the on the poster for this documentary, it says, it asks the question, are you part of the solution? Are you part of the solution? So I don't know when it's gonna come out. I don't know if it has come out yet. This is what the Wrap says about it. The trailer for the documentary, The Reunited States, comes amid a time of turmoil in the U.S. That has showcased the country's political and racial divide. The film, presented and executive produced by Meghan McCain and Van Jones, follows several subjects as they try to bridge that divide through communication and peace instead of violence and hate. So Van Jones has been a weird ass. He moved weird. He moves really weird. There are so many people who are going to sit here, and there's so many people who have the same type of mentality when it comes to addressing the problems in this country. Are you a part of the solution? Let's all kiss ass and come together. And the thing is, the way they're able to do this, the only way they're able to do this is to ignore the issues that are there, is to ignore the racism, is to ignore the horrible ass class divide, is to ignore the exploitation that the ruling class is doing to everybody else, is to ignore everything else and to present racism and these human rights issues as as like a debate or as optional or as a difference in opinion. That's the only way that you can look at somebody who is like outwardly a bigot and racist as hell and put your ass on the train tracks thinking that, oh, if you just talk to them, if you just reason with them, they'll just see that, hey, your black ass is, oh, that's just not the way to do it. And not only are you doing that, but you're putting, like I said, you're putting yourself in harm's way for people who have proven over and over and over and over again that they don't care about your black, minority, gay, whatever the fuck, trans act. They don't give a fuck about you. And so the only person who comes out of that kind of arrangement, comes out of that type of conversation extremely fucked, is the one who don't have as much privilege or power in the society. Because it don't matter what the fuck you willing to compromise on. It matters about what the people with the power are willing to compromise on. And they're not going to compromise about shit. As we can see, they are literally raiding the Capitol, bitch. They're trying to take control and not take control. They're trying to display their power and maintain control. You know, if Van Jones and Meghan McCain are part of the solution, then I am not. Listen to me. I'll be the problem. I'll be the problem. I hate centrists. If you can reach across the aisle to team up with the people who literally don't want marginalized groups to exist, you are never for them to begin with. They are not. They are not. I'm telling you, some of these girls would have been like, Harriet, you are doing too much. Rosa, I know they would have dragged the shit out of Rosa Parks. Bitch, get your ass up. Get your ass up. Van Jones would have been like, get your Rosa. You are making the white people feel uncomfortable. Get your ass the fuck up. Get your ass up. Van Jones is the type of person that you put into office. I actually saw that they made a black woman the Capitol Police chief. Van Jones is the type of person that you put into a particular office that has fucked over the community. You know what I mean? Van Jones is the type of nigga that you put in to a position of power when it comes to policing, when you find out that your police department has been fucking over people of color, black people for generations. You know what I mean? And you just like, well, what do we do? Get Van Jones, get Van Jones, get the shoe shiner, get the tap dancer, where's the shoe shiner? Van Jones, we got get your black ass up here. I mean, get your ass up here. We got a situation here. These niggas are getting out of line. Man, he's literally the type of person that you put up there in those positions. And we have to remember that these type of people would actually be more vicious because they have, not only are they trying to keep your ass in line, but they're trying to prove to the structure of power that they're not like the rest of these niggas and that they'll be a good nigga and they'll stay in line. So all you have to do is keep paying me and I'm going to stay in line and get these other niggas in line. And I know these niggas' tactics, so I'm going to go after them even harder. It's tired. It's tired. It's tired, but expected. Wasn't he? Yes, he was working with Trump for something. I forget what it was. I don't know if it was some fake ass criminal reform. I don't remember what it was, but I know he was in there, not looking at all the evidence that shows who Trump is. He doesn't give a fuck about that. But, I don't know why a lot of people have this, especially in the centrist area, they have this weird fetish about reaching across the aisle to get shit done. And the only thing they ever get done is being taken advantage of. Literally, they have this weird fetish about yeah, I have an open mind. I worked with the opposition. Okay, and the opposition wants to destroy you. So the opposition literally wants to end your life. They do not want they don't want your dark ass anywhere. So you want flowers for work? Oh, you work with the ops. Oh. And they like to present it as oh, how else are we going to get anything done in this country? How are we going to... Girl, the same way we always did. Girl, what are you talking about? And you no doubt have to, if you ever want to be a part of their race, you better make sure you got that altar ready, bitch, because you're going to have to you have to sacrifice. What do y'all think about people saying Trump has helped black people / people of color? Because I see that a lot and I don't know how to respond. Anybody who literally says that white supremacists are very fine people and that African countries are shithole countries don't care about y'all ass. I don't know where people are getting this idea that he could, what has Trump done for black people? And then they try to compare, oh, well, Obama didn't do shit for black people. I'm like, girl, I don't give a fuck about any of these fucking imperialist kings. I don't care. What are you talking? Oh, you're gonna use the other war criminal as a damn benchmark? I don't care. I don't know why people are saying that, but I would hope that they have enough sense to be like, okay, yeah, this man literally does not care about us at all. On top of that, what has Trump done for America as a whole? He ain't done shit. Maybe the only thing he might have done is sell some secrets to these hoes overseas. Oh my God. Can you imagine how much of America's tea is all over the place, bitch? Can you imagine? They are upset. Yes, honey. It's interesting that Angela Merkel, I'm just now thinking that's about how someone said that. Angela said that she did not approve of Trump being banned. I don't know why. That's interesting. Like, do these politicians think that, oh shit, social media don't ban, like, but to me, like, you're a whole ass, like, leader of a country. You can do anything you want. A Twitter account is not gonna press you. Germany needs to keep quiet. Germany, you might want to keep out this conversation, because all we got to do is Germany, just keep that mouth shut. Keep that mouth shut. You got a lot. You got a lot of nerve. You got a lot of nerve. You might not want to engage in this conversation, boo-boo. Like, we just now starting to, mosey on back, bitch. Please, please. Don't. We good. Don't, just stay out of this one. Germany and France, child. I'm surprised Macron ass ain't saying that fake liberal ass thing. Ain't said nothing about that shit yet. In this day and age, it says my connection is unstable, so it's giving very much. Okay, you have access to the top techies on the planet. Have them build you a website and shut the fuck up. But yeah, I found that like Inception. I found it funny as hell. And I think it's almost just like the government telling people to storm the Capitol, to run into the Capitol. That's what that whole like speech was, at Save America March or whatever. I find it funny that it's the same kind of thing where the government is telling you, yeah, girl, storm the Capitol, and when you get there, they shoot your ass. That's crazy as hell. Can you imagine? These people in the government say, hey, girls, just they don't outright say it, but they say it. Especially if they have Alex Jones up there fucking talking. Okay, girl, go ahead and storm the Capitol. And then they shoot their ass. They shoot and then they go on trips. They try to go on trips and shit. And then they end up being put on no fly list. I know they feel, well, I was like, I know they feel tricked, but I feel like if you're a Trump supporter and you haven't felt bamboozled and tricked by now, this is just the season finale. This is just like the final form. This is just the final test. Yeah, Evangeline was supposed to be helping Kim K on her criminal reform act with Trump. They were supposed to be staying in a hotel in NYC, and Kanye told someone he knows Van slept with his wife. Kanye just ain't never gonna. Girl, it's true. Banning Trump is just so history can be written by a revisionist. Oh yeah, and they already doing it. What was it that there was a tweet that said that McGraw-Hill is finding a way to whitewash this shit as we speak. I forget who tweeted that shit, but it was so funny. Of course they're gonna start saying they're being oppressed, and like I said before, I'm like, how are conservative voices being silenced when I hear so much of y'all every damn day? Oh my God, I can't get y'all to shut the fuck up for 2 seconds. Ain't nothing being silenced. I hear y'all coming from 5 miles away. They said that Trump could pardon himself. Can that actually work? I don't think so. I don't. I don't know. I don't think so. I just feel like he wouldn't be as scared as he is to leave that hole. Um, if he could just pardon himself, impeaching Trump could prevent him from running in 2024. Yes, that's what I saw. I saw that impeachment also prevents them from getting the, correct me if I'm wrong, security detail, payment after the presidency. I don't know what else, but he has to be impeached and convicted. I don't think that shit is happening. That shit is not happening, right? When does Warnock and John Ossoff take their asses up there? When do they take their asses up there? Because they the Democrats won the Senate, but they don't have it right now, right? Security, pension, etc. Okay, they need to lock them up now. $1 million in travel. Can you believe that shit? Can you believe that shit? $1 million. So is it impeaching him twice gonna keep him from running again because he's already impeached? He can't pardon himself from state crimes, but pardoning himself for federal crimes would be subject to judicial review. Jeez. This month they made the presidency like medieval kings, bitch. That shit is crazy. Also, the House might wait to send articles to the Senate. I don't know how I feel about it, but yeah, it's just that his presidency is ending so soon. I thought that they were going to make this to be more symbolic than anything. So I just did not expect him to get convicted if we don't. I'm saying if the Democrats do not hold the Senate. And I think I'll end on this because it's getting a little long. But I think we all have to pay attention. Eve said this on Twitter. I think we have to pay attention to the people who are going to try and leave the Republican Party. And we have to ask ourselves, why is it so easy for them to leave the Republican Party and plant their asses in the Democratic Party without having to change much of how they think, much of their policies and political, much of their politics. They're just going to exit the Republican Party and just step their asses into the Democratic Party. So, like, what does that mean? What does that mean? I think it's crazy. I think I think it's crazy that there aren't more parties. I don't know. I don't know. Lisa Murkowski in Alaska was saying that she might leave the Republican Party. I feel like this is the equivalent of trying to leave the Nazi Party. We know what you did, girl. Exactly. You want to, yeah. I really hope we do because I hope we pay attention to this shit because these girls. And the thing is that they've already the establishment Dems have already set up a landing spot for these hoes. Like, oh, we got to come together. We got to reach across the aisle. We got to. To me, it's crazy because they can go back to, and they were going to already, but they could go back to business as usual. As long as they have the political power in the party, they don't give a fuck about anything else. They don't give a fuck what they have to sacrifice. They don't give a fuck if you're part of a marginalized community that ain't getting shit. They're like, as long as we have this political power and these Republicans are coming over to Democrats, we're going to literally bend over for them. We're going to appease them in any way that we can. Like, it's ugly. It's ugly. It's ugly. Even if you have more parties, white supremacy would still swing the parties right. We have that problem here. Yeah, I think it's going to be so. I've always said it. I'm just like, I don't know how this shit's going to end. It's giving ancient Rome tease. And I'm not going to live to see that shit probably, but it's giving ancient Rome. It's giving ancient Rome. Republicans fuck up the country, then Democrats have to fix it. Tired of that shit. Hi, Adrian. Hey, what's up? Girl, y'all saying Army Hammer was being crazy and freaky in somebody's DMs and shit, and it was really bad. But then some other people are saying that, well, the person who uh, leaked the information said that it was fake anyway. So I don't know. I don't know. I think they're gonna over to the Democrats because they won both houses. Exactly, but just they're gonna go in the Democratic Party and make them even more right. Like, you know, because they're weak. Like the Democrat. Do you think Republicans are scared? Like, bitch. Oh, we got to adhere to the policies of the Democratic Party, or the standards of the Democratic Party. Like, girl, they don't give a fuck. They're like, bitch, y'all hoes were literally kissing our ass when we were in separate parties, bitch. You gonna listen to me now? So, speaking of Army, do you think that there are limits to fantasy slash kink? Of course. Um, I think the main thing is consent, obviously. So both parties are consenting and they're not fucking, you know, I guess killing each other. Because I was gonna say hurting each other, but sometimes these girls, you know what I mean? I think that consent is very important. Uh, um, what kinks or fantasy does Army have? Exactly. Uh, some people are into some really weird shit. I'm telling you that right now. And I maybe somebody would consider the type of things that I'm into weird, but I just think it's very important to have the other person's consent if you're going to be into these kinks and shit. Everybody got something they into and shit. But I just think it's important to talk about these things, especially if you're like, you know, just if you hooking up, like you need to talk about these things with the person that you're doing it with. So I'm about to be nosy and Google it. Yeah, I just don't know how true it is that it's Army. Uh, so I don't want to be like, oh girl. And I also haven't seen. Why is Army trending on Twitter? Let's see. Speaking to women in a way that's sexually domineering and violent. Some of the message which glamour won't link here uh, uh, speak of drinking blood, describe scenes of sexual control, and reference cannibalism. Uh, Thank you, Miss Davis. I'm all for kinks. I'm all for them. But bitch, if you're gonna take a chunk out of my arm, hoe, if you're gonna bite a chunk of my arm, I don't know. I don't know. Bitch, can you imagine? Is he a vampire? Literally, can you imagine? Like, hey, give me that neck. Imagine somebody saying, "Oh, give me that neck." Like, okay, here, daddy, and that bitch bite that whole off. I'd be like, girl, yeah, it's time to go. I'm like, I'm no longer a homosexual. I'm an abomination, and I've been delivered. That's what I'm gonna say, bitch. Fuck that shit. We talking about cannibalism. Oops, just what? See, but people are saying that it's fake. I'm looking, girl. I'm looking. It's seven different sources with the same sort of language. It's not fake. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk about it like it's not fake. Let me tell you something. If Army Hammer came over here and said, "Hey, bitch, I'm going to eat your ass up," I'd be like, "Oh, girl, you finna eat me up?" Yes, honey. No, bitch, he's finna put me on a plate, put me in the motherfucking microwave, then put me in the motherfucking oven, put some seasoning on my ass if he uses it, and then eat me. Mama, I am not into human meat. I'm not into human meat. I am not into human meat. Thank you, Ty Ingram. I'm not into human meat. I'm not into human meat. I mean, That ain't no kink, bitch. What are you talking about? That is not a kink. A kink is like, oh, you into feet or something like that. Like, oh, girl, I don't know how much I can say without YouTube being a bitch. But it's, kinks are like, oh, girl, I'm into feet. Ooh, girl, let me smell your underwear. Kink like that. Bitch, he's talking about a crime. That's not a kink. That's a crime, bitch. A kink versus a crime. That's a crime. Bitch, you're going to jail. You're going to jail. So some of the alleged DMs refer to, rape fantasies. See, that's why I said I think consent is very important. I'm not into that shit, but that, especially with that kink, you gonna need some consent, and you might need 3 safe words or something. Cause bitch, that's that kink. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm not gonna. Please keep that shit away from me. Oh my god. Oh my god, can you imagine? And how do you engage in that shit? Can you imagine like coming home and your man is there and you coming home from like a long night or something, or a long day at work or some shit, and then they could just fling you around, toss you to the bed, and you like, wait, what? Excuse me, like, bitch, I'm calling 911. Somebody's talking my bussy on the dance floor. Whoa, I'm calling 911. I'm calling 911. I'm calling the cops. No, yeah, it's giving under the jail. It's writer Jessica tweeted, who's her? Jessica Ciensen Enriquez on Monday tweeted, if you are still questioning whether or not those Army Hammer DMs are real, and they are, maybe you should start questioning why we live in a culture willing to give abusers the benefit of the doubt instead of victims. Okay, girl, I get it, mama. But bitch, on social media, we got to triple check. These girls be photoshopping. We got to check. That's all I'm saying, boo boo. I don't know. Does Army Hammer even have the That's disturbing to me. But on another note, Kat Black has great vids on her experience in the BDSM community and her thoughts on some kinks she finds problematic. See, Kat be having the tea, okay? Kat be knowing. And she definitely knows more than me. So if you're looking for somebody to speak with some sense about that shit, you could definitely check out Kat Black. She know what the fuck she be talking about. But yeah, as far as those kind of, that's a very good question. Somebody asked me about kinks and fantasies and shit, and was like, Adrian, I just tagged you in a thread of screenshots and voice messages. Jesus Christ. Oh shit, let me see. Army Hammer. I've cut the heart out of a living animal before and eaten it while still warm. Oh my god! That reminds me. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Oh god, I don't know if I should do it, but okay. So that, hopefully this person ain't watching this shit. Okay. Oh girl, I shouldn't do this shit. Okay, so there was this person who we was just talking, we was just DMing. And he was like, oh yeah, I like to hit. And I'm like, what do you mean by hit? Like a slap or something, that's hot. That could be hot. But he was like, oh no, when I'm in it, I like to hit. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like a slap? He's like, no, punch. I was like, you think I'm Floyd Mayweather, bitch? Like he was. I don't know. Was he trying to? Bitch, if you don't like me, just say that shit. You don't have to be. you don't have to beat my ass. Like, he was, oh yeah, I like to punch, sir. You know, it's giving bob to the top. I'm not a punching bag. I don't know. Like, you got to go to the nearest gym. It's just, yeah. I was like, oh God, you know. I can't imagine being like, oh yeah, that feels so, so good. It doesn't feel great. It doesn't feel good. I'm good on that. Last time I got my ass beat was by my mama. By my mama. That was the last person to really beat my ass like that. And that's it. I'm trying to think, like, I really, like, in my head, I was looking at him write this shit. I was like, am I missing something? Like, bro, am I missing something? Because this bitch say he gets off on punching hoes. Like, is your man on the floor? If he ain't, then let me know. I'm going to be running from Chris Brown. Ma'am, it's okay. It's okay. You know, you was cute. You know, maybe that thing is thing and you was cute. But as far as this interaction goes, I have not received any taekwondo or karate training. I have not entered into the WWE or the MMA. I have not done any of those things. He trying to get to me. Bitch, I was gonna come up here. Can you imagine doing a live stream with a black eye? Bitch, Adrian, what happened to you? I was getting some head. All right. I gotta go. I'll get you a twisted tea, period, bitch. When you hear that, that means you're done. Bitch, if he thought he was gonna play with me, I was gonna do some comment on his ass. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. We was finna be in there like, don't lose your way. I'm giving killer teeth. Like, I was gonna be in there. Go Power Rangers! I was gonna power up on his ass. I can't, bitch. That's why a conversation needs to be had, bitch. Because can you imagine you hook up with somebody, they punch you in the fucking face? I'm biting that dick. On that note, that's what we do. That's what we do when these niggas try you. When they come out here with some weird shit, bite that dick and keep it moving. I'm talking about chewing gum. Bite that dick, bite these niggas' dicks, and keep it moving. Okay? Okay. All right. Oh, child. You know what? I'm gonna have to talk about Attack on Titan on the podcast. So make sure you go to patreon.com/AdrianExpression and sign up. Literally every Monday, the girls tell me what they want me to talk about on there. And we fucking have a good ass time on Tuesday, bitch. We running it up. So let me know. Check it out. Thank y'all so much for watching my crazy ass. I am going to, what am I going to do? Hope I can write some shit today. That's actually what I want to do. I want to write some shit and watch these people freak out about not being allowed on the flights or not being allowed in the airport. Thank you, Ambria. Ashley, thank you. Love y'all so much. I'm going to go eat some, child. Bye, y'all.